do we have here today with us?
Tim Dillard, here are the guns.
Dillard. All right, great to have someone here at the organization, someone that's got me riled up and excited since we reconnected, maybe 2 months ago?
Yeah, about that. 3 months. I think it's 3 months ago.
3 months ago?
Yeah, time goes by fast.
Do you remember the first time we ever met?
Yeah, I remember you being real jealous of my good looks. And I remember thinking that's understandable and all that. Now, we were talking about that one project we had going called Tops in Texas, and we were talking about being part of that, and that was putting local brands into national magazines like Time and Newsweek and Oprah and This Old House and things like that.
So when I met you, you had the Tops in Texas, and I know it had to be around probably 2010, because when I met you, we had opened our first real estate office off of Kirkendall in 1960.
That's where we were. I remember going. It was in a little strip center.
In a little strip center.
Yeah.
In a not so great neighborhood. Hey, but you gotta use the tools that God gives you at the time, right? You know, if you're faithful in the little, then eventually He'll put you in the much.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
There you go. So from what I remember back then, it was very strange because we were getting connected with a lot of people at that time that were also members of Lakewood, and also servants that were serving in Lakewood. So for example, this awesome hair that I have now can only be awesome because of Eric Perez, who actually was the hairstylist for a lot of the staff at Lakewood Church.
Oh, wow.
He might have been Joe Osteen. I don't know. Can either confirm or deny that. But there was also another young lady who had Serenity TV, who she was one of the head ushers for Lakewood. She vanished also. Her name will come back.
Vanished, like translated to another country?
She could be. I haven't seen her heard
instantly.
For at least
was it vanishing right before your eyes?
You know, a lot of people from those days. You know, I don't know. Maybe it could have been the economy.
Society's got so complex, and people's pressures are so great, it causes them to have to move and change when they really don't want to these days.
And it could have been because also we picked up and left and went to Florida for a season around 2011.
Right.
Reggie Kerr was her name. Reggie Kerr.
I don't remember.
Yeah, she worked with the ushers.
You know, I worked with Joel
and that's what we wanted to kind of talk about. So, because a lot of people that I'm talking to about Freedom Plays, I'm like, hey, do you know this guy named Tim? They're like, we've never heard of this guy. I'm like, go to his LinkedIn page, but I know you because when we first met, you had a solution for a brand new real estate company to get our name out amongst the giants. The Keller Williams, the Century 21.
You know, to say new home programs, Tops in Texas as seen in Time magazine is a big deal, right? And you could run with that brand rub off. That's what we did. It's no different. Everybody's flown on planes and seen the top steakhouses in America, and they go, wow, that's a great steakhouse, but nobody realized that it's paid. In fact, when you go to the Wall Street Journal and look at all the articles in the Wall Street Journal and really anything on CNN or Fox News or anything, 80 to 90% of what you see that you think is news is PR. It's all paid. Foreign countries pay our media to run stories on their countries. So,
and what I remember about Tops in Texas is you had a system where a new business was giving a landing page, and on that landing page, you were to compete against other companies within the same industry. So, for example, let's say 20 real estate companies. And you gave us a link that we would share with people in our database, past clients, and then also people that would be prospects for our business. And when we passed that link to them, they had to vote on who they believe was tops in the city.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And then I can't remember how long the contest went. Do you remember how long the contest
we would usually use contests. We tried to do them in 30 days. We found that was better like 90 days because you got more run off of it. Because the real value of it was being able to market yourself in a way to keep driving people to a page where you're nominated as one of the tops in your field. And we had the corresponding show on Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick's station here in town, KSEV, which was the Tops in Texas radio show. I don't remember whoever got you on there. You don't have a face for radio. You have a face for television and movies. I have a face for radio, so I have a radio show, right? And so we would take different companies and put them on the radio show. So now they're able to say Tops in Texas as seen in Time Magazine, as heard on KSEV radio. And so, because all of us think in terms of brand.
Yep.
And everybody has a personal brand that they're responsible for in a company. The problem with branding, I know this is off topic, but the problem with branding is everybody that learns about branding is being taught by people that deal with companies that have 100 million and more just to spend on branding, right? Well, those principles don't apply to somebody that's got a small business.
Like, I can't afford to hire Stephen Curry
Yeah.
to be the mascot of New Home.
Yeah, exactly.
But Subway can.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I get it. So that thing was pretty much viral marketing where we had a link. We shared it to people in our database.
Correct.
They ranked us based on really popularity because it was a popularity contest.
Yeah.
And every time they got that link, they got to see our branding and a little bit about what we do. And then they passed that link and then they passed that link. And then at the end of the day, whoever ranked number one, you got the bragging rights that you were the top real estate brokerage in your city.
And then we would sell you a space in our magazine, which nobody realized how we could put you into Time Magazine. Nobody understood that. And so they assume it's national, but we had figured out a way to get a local page, so the cost was drastically reduced.
And that's when I understood the power of PR news, where you can make your own little article, press release, pay $300, and then they got syndicated, Yahoo News, CNBC, and then you can say, as seen in Yahoo News, right? And then you put the little logo on your website. So
you pay them enough money, they'll stick it on the back page on the wallstreetjournal.com / about 42 digits, and nobody in the world will ever find that. But you can send a link out and say, hey, look, we're in the Wall Street Journal this week, and it gets people's attention. And then people that are listening to this and watching this that don't know these principles think, oh, well, everything's for sale. It's about who takes control of their brand, of the perception of who they are and what they do. Because branding is simple for anyone when you reduce it to what it really is, controlling what people say and think about you.
Yeah.
And the number one part of that is integrity. And that's what you've always had. That's what I've always been attracted to, New Home programs, the way you run your business, the way you run your life, the way you run your family. The word integrity comes out of you so fast and you don't even have to say anything.
And I like how you use that term, run your family. People don't understand that your family is probably the most important thing that God will ever give you in life, right? Because He's already chosen the one that you're supposed to be with. He's chosen your kids even before they were born. You knew them before they were even in your wife's womb.
Right.
And if you can't control your family, then you're not going to be able to control anything.
Right.
And it's not like being a dictatorship. A family is biblically, it's like running a business. Every person has their part. And as long as they all buy into the vision of where you want your family to go, then you'll have a successful family. So I like that you brought that in there, because I do believe that is why we have been successful in business. It's because of our family. Without Millie, there's no way we could have any of this stuff.
Without Millie.
Without her even buying into the vision, there's no way.
Well, we know who's the boss. we know. You meet her, you
Use
go,
the word
all right.
boss. She's XO, executive officer.
Well, you know what I mean. She's happy wife, happy life is very true.
That is true. So
fortunately, she's easy to make happy too, though. She's a happy person to begin with.
She is. Totally opposite of me in personality. So.
Not too much.
So after we first met, we left to go to Tampa to open an office and build a Florida market.
Remember that.
And I think that's where we got disconnected. But I do remember that we had one touch point more than a decade ago when you started something after Tops in Texas and Tops in Houston. And that was a new idea called Gobza. And I totally forgot that I was one of the first people to sign up. I just did a Facebook search on the word Gobza, and I even see my original Gobza link, which was gobza.com/Jesus lives. So I technically had a Gobza link. So what was the concept of Gobza? And the reason why I want to talk about it is because I do see the similarity between Gobza and then also Freedom Place.
Absolutely. So Gobza was, we took the principles that we saw in Google, which said, hey, pay us the most money and you'll get the most clicks. It's a bidding war, right? Whoever pays the most money is going to get the top of the page. That'll get the most clicks. And eventually you run out of money because you're just buying clicks.
And that's really an auction. They actually call that an auction. Auction. You're spending money to see who will pay the most money per click based on your competition. So the problem is, the more your competitor is willing to pay, then you're going to have to up the ante.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but all media forever has been an auction. Everything is a bidding war. You give CBS the most money, they're going to give you the first ad on the Super Bowl. You give the Houston Chronicle, nobody buys the Houston Chronicle anymore, but in the old days, if you paid them the most money, you got the biggest ad. So Gobza took that principle, which was already there, and then we looked at the Groupon model, and the Groupon model that exploded in the country and had a great idea. It said, hey, listen, you're a small business, you don't want to risk your money without getting a sale. And so they said, you offer 50% off at least on your tires or whatever the product was. And you can say you need 100 people to buy this before, and we'll collect the 50%, and you'll have 100 customers or more. And you go, wow, it doesn't cost me anything to get 100 customers.
Exactly.
But then they keep half of the 50%, and they don't even pay you your 25% until usually 90, 120 days later. And if you go look at Groupon, their sales are going down. It's just not a good model, especially for small business people.
Yeah.
So so Gobza was taking those two principles, put them together in a deals model where it was whoever paid the biggest commission got the first ad on the phone or first ad on the page. But it was only deals, and there's some people that were involved with that had a different vision. They took it in a different direction. They went, yo.
So one of the concepts of Gobza, which was different than Groupon, and I understand Groupon was, I will only give a discount if I get enough people to buy in at this price.
Right.
And even if they were going to lose, then they at least were connected to a future consumer. So if you were a restaurant and this person came and you lost a little bit of income, right? Then if he came back a second time and a third time because he was introduced to you through the Groupon. So, but with Gobza, I understand that it was, you can get deals. So there was a savings element.
Right.
But the passing of a link, where a consumer had a link that they could share with another consumer, what was that part about?
Well, so you'd share the link, see people click it, sign up, and everything they buy would make you a commission.
Okay.
Off of the sell of a deal, essentially.
Okay.
So we took the idea of that Groupon had come up and said, well, let's put the risk on the back end for the business, and we used that, but we took the bidding war of Google and said, well, whoever has the biggest discount gets the top ad on the page, so that the buyer is always winning. Okay. But then the money that was paid, we paid commissions to the people that had brought that buyer to the table.
So the two things about having a consumer sharing their link is if they're getting revenue off of whoever signed up through their link, then what's going to happen is your cost to market to get subscribers or consumers pretty much goes down on the front end.
Right.
So instead of you spending $100 million or borrowing money to get 1 million subscribers to Gobza, you just let the people go out there and organically grow the consumer base.
Right.
Because without enough consumers, then the businesses don't have anybody to advertise to.
Right. And the promise of that was even more grandiose and better than that. But there were other people involved with it, investors, and they actually began to change everything behind the scenes. And so what the promise of it was, as we began to sign companies and people up from all over the country, they were actually changing the entire model behind the scenes. So when it launched, there was this big disconnect between what people were expecting and what they delivered. And so it just went really fast.
So, and from talking with you, because now if you look at Gobza, it's no longer around, right?
Yeah, it went down in flames so fast. It was
So I've seen a trend, and I'm actually experiencing this right now with the company that I own, which I really don't because it's a franchise.
Right.
So I can't make decisions based on where the company needs to go. But currently I have a company that someone came up with the idea, the visionary, and he didn't have the billions of dollars and millions of dollars to take it across the nation. So what they did was they got an investor. They got somebody else's money, and when someone gives you money, they always have a team to watch their money, and typically they call it their leadership team that they want to inject in your company along with their cash. But when I've seen that happen is when you set the visionary down, hey, we're coming in, it's our money, our team. Yes, you started the concept, but you're going to sit down. if they're not the visionaries, then it doesn't matter how much money they have, doesn't matter how much experience their leadership has, because you either catch the vision or you don't.
Right.
So in one of my businesses, that's happening right now. $1 billion company came in and took over an insurance company, and they're literally running it into the ground right now.
Yeah.
So
that's very common. That's
very common, right?
Yeah.
And probably the biggest idea or concept of that happening that we can all probably relate to is Steve Jobs in Apple. Because there was a time where this visionary, he was kicked out of his own company.
Yeah.
The board members decided, you're no longer relevant. We no longer believe in you or your vision.
Yeah.
So they put this man out, right?
Yeah.
And then what happened to Apple?
Well, and I have a connection to that. I was a young pup back then. And in 1983, I got invited to interview with an ad agency in Los Angeles. I went out and I had the job. And as I was sitting there waiting in the lobby to go in and officially accept the job, this guy walked in and had purple high tops, purple knee socks, purple tattoos on his legs, purple tie-dye shirt, purple eyeshadow, and a purple mohawk. And I had a young child and a wife. I went, I don't think this is a place for me. I'm a Louisiana, Texas, hillbilly, redneck, Cajun Texan. I don't think I'm going to get along here. And I turned it down. Now, I was going to work on their new account, which was this little computer company called Apple Computer. And the next year would have been the year which is considered to be the greatest commercial in history, the Apple Macintosh introduction with their 1984 spot, which ran one time and exploded their brand throughout the world, which hastened the exit of Steve Jobs. Because he wanted the commercial, and John Scully and the rest of the board didn't. In fact, they called Jay Chiat at Chiat Day in Los Angeles and said, do not run that on the Super Bowl tomorrow. And he said, okay, no problem. And he still ran it. And that began the end of Steve Jobs. And so, to your point, they expunged the visionary leader, and sometimes, Steve Jobs was very mercurial as well and hard to deal with. But
they invited him back.
They had no choice.
If he didn't come back,
they had no choice.
Would we have the Apple iPhone?
No.
Because I think in those days, probably the best product they had was what, the iPod?
iPod. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah,
and that was nothing like a smartphone, right?
Yeah. I can get 500 songs on this. I mean, oh my God, 500.
Now,
golly.
Since we brought that, the music.
Yeah.
So this isn't your first run at a tech platform. This is the whole point
I've done
of
lots
Gospel,
of things
right?
in space.
This isn't your first time of being in media. Again, you helped Lakewood Church with their media spin.
Yeah, I've done lots of things in the media.
So
my background is media and technology.
So the thing is the technology, because still there's a lot of people that are disconnected with technology. They don't understand how Amazon works, considering the buying side, the consumer and the merchants. What they understand is, I can have a free account, right? And when you give something for free, they don't care how the system works. They care behind the mechanics behind it.
Right.
So what I want to do is I want to talk about some things that they probably do remember that actually were big name companies. So for example, Napster.
Yeah.
You remember Napster?
Yeah.
So
Sean Parker.
Yeah.
No, I actually had a dealing with Sean Parker too. After that, that's another long story, but yeah.
So his concept was, if I go pay, I don't know, back then probably $13.99 for a DVD or a cassette, and now that I have a computer and we digitize music, I can download it to my computer, and then a guy across the world has a computer, and as long as I can create a software that connects computer to computer, that's what started file sharing.
Yeah.
This is before anybody even knew the term cloud sharing.
He wasn't even making any money on it.
It was a hobby for him. He wanted to get all the music in the world for free.
Yeah.
And then the government came in and said, hey, all the musicians, they hate the fact that you're sharing their songs, you're violating their rights.
Right.
So that was an example of a consumer being connected to another consumer.
Yeah.
See, a consumer is not someone who just buys something, right? They consume something.
Right.
Like on YouTube, we consume videos, right? We're not paying for them, but we're consuming. So that to me was kind of like the first time that someone came out with something that connected two parties, right? Then I saw the rise of restaurant.com.
Yeah.
Remember those guys?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they're
still around too, right?
They are,
Yeah.
but I don't see that they're their big name anymore.
No.
After Yelp came out and changed that. But if we remember correctly about restaurant.com, which was somewhat similar to Gobsda, they would say these restaurants that are signed up on the business side, they want to tap in to the people that eat food. And what we want to do is offer you a plate of food worth $50.
Right.
But if you buy a certificate today, we'll let you pay $25.
Right.
And then when you come into my local shop, that $25 that you spent to get $50 worth of food on a plate, we're going to give you the $50.
Right.
So it exploded. Like literally, I would never go to a restaurant without getting those certificates because I don't have to pay full price anymore.
Yeah,
so there was probably a 3-year period that we hit every single restaurant that we have never hit before because we wouldn't have known about because there was no Yelp back then.
Right.
Right. So that was another concept where a platform came out that connected a business to a consumer. And as the transaction happened, restaurant.com made a commission. Because they were the broker of the transaction.
Right. What do you think happened to them?
I think when Yelp came out, Yelp being like Google, being able to place really high, and because of their organic outreach, that the concept of restaurant.com, it couldn't sustain because it didn't have enough money to stay on page 1. And they don't have enough money to stay on the commercials. You're not going to be on every TV across America.
Right.
So I believe Yelp's technology was more like how we have Google Maps, where when you search, the restaurant that was in the local area had a stronger SEO presence, but then also the reviews.
So the convenience and then the credibility outweighed the discount. Right? Yeah, that's good. That's really
because this was probably in the last 10 to 15 years was the rise of the review. 20 years ago, it wasn't like, do you have a 5-star review or 5-star rating,
true.
Right?
Yeah.
So Yelp was one of these. This restaurant is 4.5, right? They did the same thing with the hotel industry, which was another big tech company that came out around the same time, Priceline.com.
Priceline. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Instead of going to the Hyatt, the Marriott's website, which they didn't have a strong SEO presence, Priceline came on TV. They used Captain Kirk as their spokesman.
That's right.
Right? Mr. Shatner.
Yeah.
And he said, why would
Diddy Crane.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Boston Legal.
And really, they were a broker, right? We can broker all these hotels that will fight for the consumer. And what they're going to do is they're going to lower their price.
Right.
And whatever price that you want to bid on, if they accept it, then you got the discount.
Yeah.
So again, Priceline.com was a transaction platform.
Another bidding war.
Hotels on this side, consumer there, and then eventually airlines.
Right.
So again, this isn't something new. What you're doing at Freedom Place is very similar to Gobsda and very similar to a lot of what I believe is what we should call them is transaction networks. Because that's what they are. They're just platforms that connect a buyer and a seller. Mm-hmm. Now, the evolution of being able to get the deals, one-off deals. The next evolution became the subscriptions. Right? I believe probably Amazon Prime was probably the first one that I had an experience with. I don't want to wait 3 days to get my product. I want 2-day shipping was great back then, right? Because priority mail was 3 days and you had to pay extra for that. But having a subscription, a membership type subscription that unlocked benefits that the non-paying person didn't get. That right there was something that was a great value. Not only I could stream their TV services and everything, but the fact that I could see special membership deals. Walmart Plus is very similar. I just got an email saying we're about to have a day of discounts, but because you're a Walmart Plus member, you're going to get a 24-hour sneak peek before the non-Plus members. So subscriptions, we were in my office one day and we were counting the number of subscriptions. I counted 14 that I'm paying monthly. But the ones that I can, name now that I use every day, YouTube Premium. I want to watch videos and listen to their music without the ads.
Without the commercials.
Same thing with television, right?
Absolutely.
On-air television went to cable networks and you pay the premium for cable so you don't have to watch commercials, right? Netflix is another streaming service because again, on cable, if you don't subscribe to Showtime, TMC, Cinemax, right?
How many software subscriptions do you have?
I have tons.
I've got Adobe for your personal life.
My real estate CRM.
I bet you got more than 14. I bet you got more than 14.
Since you're talking to business,
nobody knows how many subscriptions they have anymore. So you can go to your bank account and you can't figure it out.
Exactly. So subscriptions, a lot of people are hooked with the subscriptions. A lot of times they're just paying it. It's coming from their bank account. Sometimes they don't even use the services. Right. So with Freedom Place, this new transaction network that you have, tell us, what is the subscription? Like, what is that about?
Well, the subscription comes later, right?
Okay.
So it's a monthly, you get an option to pay a monthly subscription fee. Now, you get a number of things with that. But we also have a platform of subscriptions. Really what we've done is we've created the same old competition for the first ad on the phone, but who pays the most money. But the money doesn't come to the media in this case, the money goes to people. Because the reality is everybody in here and everybody watching and you and me, we all have 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in our phones. We all have 500, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 people on our email list. A lot of us have a lot of people on our social media. A lot of us have databases with our companies, and we're all connected. And the reality is we're paying money to the media as businesses that in a bidding war, if I had a business competing with you, we're competing to see who pays the most money, and we're not even getting guaranteed sales. We're paying to get the most exposure, right? So we've created a competition for the first ad on the phone by the business that pays the most money, just like everything else. But the winner of that is not paying the money to the media. They're paying it to the friends of the buyer. And
so when you say media, we're still talking transaction network. So
yeah,
you're calling
based on transactions.
So you're calling Facebook a medium.
Yeah,
it's a platform that the money flows to.
Amazon is an advertising medium. Amazon made $37 billion last year in a competition to make your product show up in the search results. They made $37 billion off of advertising. Nobody knows that. And then they charge you an average of 22% cost of goods. What if we made the 22%? Let's just go this. Here's how you understand Freedom Place. One of our 10 platforms is Amazon. One. We've got 10. We've created an ecosphere.
So it's not Amazon in particular, it's your version of Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Amazon. It's products and services everybody gets to buy and sell. However, we're not going to take 22% cost of goods. That's up to you. However, we don't have next day delivery to begin with. However, every business is competing for that first ad. When you search for baskets or tires or whatever it is, they're competing by how much money they're willing to pay for friends of the buyer. So every time you buy something, whoever's link you signed up on a year ago or 10 years ago or 10 years from now, every time you buy something, you're making them money that the business is paying essentially as a rebate or a commission after sale. So we've removed all the risk out of the selling process for the business. Is there any business that would rather pay for clicks and impressions? Think about this. There's $1 trillion in clicks and impressions. Newspaper, radio, and TV are gone. They hang around because they got a lot of money, but they're gone.
Okay.
Right?
So let's, again, talk about the subscription, but since you brought that up,
sure,
so that those that are looking can understand. Right. When you go to Amazon and you search for a pair of particular shoes,
right, you're
going to see probably 15 companies on page one, but at the top, you're going to see probably term bestseller.
Right.
It's not that they're the bestseller. Is they chose to pay additional money on top of the commission they pay Amazon to get that little label. Right?
That's right.
So for a small business, what that would mean is not only do I have to pay a commission on everything I would sell as a merchant through Amazon, if I wanted to get more sales and be on page one, I'd have to pay for that ad to get that label bestseller or Amazon's choice, right? It's not Amazon's choice. It's just that merchant's going to give you a little bit more
Texas.
Exactly.
It's the same thing. It's just controlling what people
so really
think about you.
It's a racket because if I'm a small business, then that means I have to keep digging into my profit margin to get a better hope of a sale. Because just because you click on my shoe in my merchant account, do we really buy the bestseller, or do we keep scrolling down and says, well, this pair of shoes is $1 cheaper?
Right.
So I'm going to go with the cheapest price for the same product.
Right.
So you're just throwing your money into the wind, hoping to get clicks and more eyeballs, but Amazon can't promise you sales.
Right.
So your strategy is, instead of paying money up front to be on page one, you go direct to consumer and say, we're willing to give you this discount plus a commission. So if you buy with our pair of shoes, not only do you get a little bit better price because we're not giving all the money to the platform, but that little commission, which will go to Freedom Place 80% of that is shared back with the consumers that
Yes.
are members.
4 people will make 20% of what that is. The business has complete control over what they pay. They don't pay anything unless they make a sale. And now ask any business in the world, would you rather pay? Thinking what's happened in our life since we've met. We've gone from radio, TV, and newspaper to Google, Facebook, Amazon, Twitter. We've gone from we have this many readers, this many viewers, this many listeners, pay us this much money, to you don't have to trust us anymore. We're going to let you pay for clicks and impressions. And all the money's going like that. $1 trillion a year just in the United States on clicks and impressions. Those are not sales. So we go to that group that's paying $1 trillion and say, wouldn't you rather pay for sales? And everyone goes, you bet.
So this concept, so that folks can understand, this is more similar to how a credit union operates.
There's a lot of similarities in that, right? So, except now think about this, that we'll go into the business, all the businesses. Would you rather pay for clicks and impressions or sales? You do this, you pay a ton of money in clicks and impressions, right? Which one would you rather pay for?
I would rather pay a commission for whoever brings me a
let's
sale.
not even go to commissions. Yeah, okay, right. You'd rather pay
and write it
sales.
off as a marketing.
Okay,
budget.
now think about this though. Well, common sense says we'll pay that as a discount or a coupon to the buyer, right? You want more buyers as a business. It doesn't matter what you're selling. So we split that into 4 rebates or commissions, 1 each to 4 people. Now what happens? The person whose link you click to sign up for free 6 years ago or 6 months ago or 6 days ago, and you buy something, it says, Corey, would you like to make Millie, because you're going to sign up through Millie, would you like to make her a commission for it and let her know you're making her $1 or $5 or whatever the commission is? You go, yeah, boom. She gets a notification, oh, I want one of those. And she says, I'm going to do this as well. And now the commissions themselves become viral marketing tools for every business.
So let's use the word revenue share, because what happens is when the merchant voluntarily puts a certain commission that's going to go to the medium or the platform transaction that would be in Freedom Place.
Right.
Let's say it's $5. 80% of the $5 gets distributed through members, 4 different members.
Correct.
So the way a credit union works, and the reason why people are very loyal to get financing through the credit union, is if the credit union as a whole turns a profit based on the interest they're making off of all the loans, based on how well they did in their revenue, which is the interest they're gaining on the money lent. That money now is distributed through the members, because the members own the credit union. Unlike a bank like Bank of America, the bank owns the money, right? You don't own it, right? They're shareholders.
That's right.
Unless you have stock, right? So, but a credit union, you don't have to go get stock of a credit union. Just by being a member, other people that are borrowing money, and the credit union makes the interest off the money, everybody shares in the revenue. So that's how I look at Freedom Place. It's more like a credit union. The revenue that Freedom Place makes, they distribute it amongst their members, but the 4. And how does that work is if I sign someone up and they buy something, then that revenue you make, you'll share a 4th of that. 80% of that divided by a 4th would go to me.
Which is just affiliate marketing, right?
We're going to
affiliate
talk about
marketing.
that.
That's all that is. It's affiliate marketing with a twist. So that brings us to the subscription that started this part of the discussion, right? So now we have a number of different things, and one of the first things people will get to spend money on after they've passed their link and got a bunch of people and businesses, and that's all another thing. They get to do the first subscription, monthly subscription. It'll be $9.95 a month. There's a number of things that go with that. We don't need to go into all that right now. It's going to be worth a lot more than $9.95 a month. However, we're going to pay the 4 commissions. And so we also have a platform with all kinds of solutions. So all that software you buy, all the Netflix and all those different companies, what happens when we aggregate 10 million, 100 million, 50 million, 200 million people and businesses in our ecosphere?
Then Netflix is going to say, we want access to
your audience.
Just like they did with T-Mobile.
Super.
Right?
Shift away your model to our model, because our model is just a big affiliate marketing program where we set the rules. It's like ClickBank. Everybody go to ClickBank and sign up for any affiliate marketing program. You got a different link for every product, every service, every website. They have different commission programs, and you cannot keep up with it, and it's very difficult.
So that would be similar to a T-Mobile customer T-Mobile says sign up with us and pay that monthly cell phone subscription, which we call a bill, but it's a subscription.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And even they put in there
Yeah.
insurance as part of your subscription if you want to carry that.
Right.
Data, service, you know.
Right.
But if you're a T-Mobile consumer, then they also give you the basic version of Netflix for free,
Sure.
which is, I think it was like $9.99. They may have increased it, right? Same thing with Walmart Plus. If you're paying the annual subscription for Walmart Plus, then they have a partnership with Paramount Plus, which is subscription based, where you get the basic level.
And they're all sharing revenue with each other.
Exactly. So in Freedom Place, by paying the $9.99 subscription, it will unlock discounts on other subscription-based products. For example, YouTube Premium.
Theoretically.
Because
we
you
don't
have
that, but yeah.
We're prophesying. We're releasing. In the name of Jesus.
But wait, we say that and we're joking, but that is our plan eventually. Why wouldn't a business pay only commissions for their sales? Every business will do that. I don't want to risk any money and not get a sale. Okay. Now, would you rather pay to me or would you rather go to people? And then when it goes to the people, it goes viral because people start finding out because they're making money off of somebody else's purchase.
Plus, they're making money off the people every month.
Right.
You put an ad out there, it's only a one shot.
And you brought up T-Mobile. We've got a meeting coming up next week with a big mobile company that is wanting to be a part of our model. Wouldn't that be cool? Everybody here, everybody watching here, you and me. I pay my cell phone bill every month anyway. I gotta have it. I can't even live without it. But it's making 4 people money every time I pay it. Well, how many subscriptions can we do that? The key is bringing all the eyeballs, and that's the part we probably won't get into today. But the amount of eyeballs we got getting ready to come into this thing will astound people.
Anybody can start a cell phone company. They don't have to have ownership of the lines or the 5G. They're just buying data and reselling it.
That's right.
Someone actually did that. Was it Ashton Kutcher?
You're thinking of Ryan Reynolds and Mobile.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that this guy probably is already a billionaire.
No, he already sold the company.
Yeah, when he sold it. So he did a movie actor, started a cell phone company, built up the subscriber base, and then he sold it.
Yeah.
So he's not just an actor, right? He's in the communication business now.
Yeah.
So, but back to the affiliate marketing, because you did mention an aggregator of affiliate. So one that I know is very popular, especially in the credit repair industry, is Credit Card Broker.
Oh, wow.
Where they get every single credit card that can be issued. And when you sign up for an affiliate link, you're able to share your link. So if they sign up for Amex, Discover, then what happens is you share in the revenue.
Right.
If you have an Amex account, or even if you have a Chase business card account, you can log into your account and they'll give you a link and say, hey, if you get someone to sign up through your link, we'll give you like 25,000 airline miles.
Right.
Same thing, Amex does the same thing, 75,000 miles. So the affiliate marketing was the next evolution, which I believe that's coming after the pay-per-click, because the problem with the pay-per-click in impressions is you throw money out there so someone can see your ad, but you're not even guaranteed to get a lead, let alone a sale.
Right.
Affiliate marketing is saying, hey, I offer a product or service, and I'm going to give you a link that connects back to my product or service or my storefront. For example, Amazon. Influencers have that ability where I can give a link through Amazon. It's coded to my bank account.
Right.
And no matter what you buy in a 30-day period, they'll track you based on the cookies.
Right.
And if you shop using my link, you could buy $1 million worth of products on Amazon. They will actually share in their revenue with me. Right. So my electric company does it, Direct Energy. So if I give you my Direct Energy link and you sign up for Direct Energy, they give me $50.
Right.
Airbnb does it. Because I'm a member of Airbnb, if I share my Airbnb link and you put your house on Airbnb through my link, then they'll give me $750.
Right.
So the thing is, these companies are not losing based on a marketing budget because they only pay out if they get a sale.
You said something that's really critical. Right?
What's critical?
It's how many of those are out there, and how much time do you have to do all that?
That's true. So a small business doesn't have the time to build their own infrastructure.
Well, what consumer has time to go get 7,000 different links and make money off of all 7,000 and try to market that? It's too voluminous. We've taken that all away. We've said, just send your link out as a consumer, bring all the consumers. We'll track it 4 passes. As a business, do the same thing and go get business. We'll track that 4 passes. So and then we make all the businesses then conform to our affiliate marketing program so that everything, so all that work that you'd have to do to go get 7,000 different links, we've already done it for you. All you got to do is get one link and pass it to whomever you want. And we'll track where it goes. And everything they buy will make you money. Everything you buy will make the person whose link you click money, the person whose link they click, the person whose link they click, and the person whose link they click.
Okay.
4 people, every sale.
So let's look at it in a practical sense. So I have a buddy. He has a boot store, right? He's been running it forever. No, he doesn't own Cavender's boots or anything like that. Small boot shop. He actually repairs and he sells.
I need a new pair of boots, so give me
I'll
his
get
name.
you connected.
Yeah.
Church member.
Yeah.
So if he said, I want people to recognize my small business and come here before they go to Cavender's, which most people will never find this guy out in Tomball, right?
Right.
Then if he wanted to do an affiliate marketing program where his database of consumers had a link where they can share their link on social media and post products like, hey, look at this pair of boots that I just bought. If you're interested in buying a pair, click my link.
Right.
And then if they came to his store and they bought a pair, he would give them part of the revenue, right?
It the commission.
So, but I know for a fact he's not a technology guy. He probably doesn't know technology guy. So he would never be able to build a tracking system, let alone a payout system, because also anytime you pay out, then you're going to have to report to the IRS.
Right.
And people don't like dealing with the IRS, right?
You get the 1099s and all that
exactly.
stuff to deal with.
So for a small business, 99% of them, they will never be able to be an affiliate marketing company.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the consumer, if there were 50 companies that gave them a link, they're not going to be able to track the links. They're not going to be able to say, well, today, let me go through my Rolodex of 50 links and see what I can share with you to help you to buy something, right?
Yeah.
So in your system, number one, the business doesn't have to worry about any type of tracking, doesn't have to worry about any commissions, doesn't have to worry about reporting anything to the IRS, because by default, every single member that is plugged into Freedom Place, when they purchase, your technology is the one who's going to receive the income and then pay that person.
Right.
So the small business hands, they're out of it.
Right.
They don't even have to worry about it. So if I was a small business though, and I wanted more people to have eyeballs on my product, probably what I would do, I would advertise and say, find us on Freedom Place, just like Facebook did.
Right.
Because the more people that even the businesses get plugged in, the more potential that...
Well, the beauty of that is they can advertise out in the world, but we've created our own YouTube version, our own Spotify version, our own real estate Zillow type version. We've got our own Events Pro platform. We've got our own Craigslist and a number of other things. Our own gift card platform is going to be even more impressive than anything. The gift card platform, that's a $700 billion industry, and we're turning the entire gift card industry on its ear. All these platforms and our platforms. So now, when people are shopping a business, they can be on essentially your YouTube, our video. They can go to your Spotify and watch your podcast and then go buy something. So now you don't even have to advertise outside of our universe. We're letting you advertise for free. Your podcast can be there. Your videos can be there. Anything you want to put there can be there. Now, there's transactional platforms within they're ready to buy something. They go over here and buy something. And when they buy something, it's making 4 people money every single time. And the competition with the business is to see who pays the most money to people, not media. Because we don't need them to broker our buying and selling anymore. We've got each other.
There you go. Yeah, just like Napster. There was a time when we were able to share music. Consumer to consumer. We didn't need iTunes, right? We didn't need YouTube Premium where we can buy artists, music. We just shared it. So the last thing I want to talk about, because humans will always be humans. And the humanistic way of thinking is when they hear an opportunity, because this is a great opportunity.
Sure.
This is the question they ask. What's in it for me? Right? So I know that there's 3 types of signups for Freedom Place, because you cannot be a member of Freedom Place unless you're already invited by someone else.
That's correct.
But there's 3 types of signups. So you have the consumer sign up, businesses can sign up, and then also nonprofit organizations.
That's correct.
So starting with the consumer, and I know we've talked a little bit about it in little patches, but what is the true benefit of why a consumer would sign up with Freedom Place, even though they've already signed up with Amazon, they've signed up with Walmart, Etsy, Wayfair, Shopify, Groupon, YouTube? What's the benefit?
So we're going to make businesses bid for your business by paying you money and your friends money.
Okay.
That's it.
So the main difference and the reason why I would probably stop shopping on Amazon is if the same merchant who's selling those shoes on Amazon, who's also the same merchant on Walmart, right? Because they pay both platforms to stay alive.
That's right.
If that same merchant came over to Freedom Place, I would probably have no choice but to buy that product on Freedom Place, number one, because it could be a little bit cheaper because of the cost savings that they're not paying marketing up front. But at the same time, there's a potential that I could receive some type of revenue share that you're going to share, Freedom Place is going to share, but also the person that gave me their link, they're also going to share in the revenue, which you brought me in, right?
Right.
So everything I buy, I will be blessing your family.
That's correct.
I will be helping you take care of your bills.
That's correct.
Right? Probably helping you with your retirement.
And then everybody that you send your link to, you're going, wow, everything they buy is going to make me money. Yeah, that's true. But it's also, they now have the right to pass it to everybody they know so that they'll make them money. What we've done is monetize exactly how we all do and act and behave now in this technology-centric world, right? We're doing the exact same thing we all did to build Twitter, Facebook, and Google, YouTube. We passed their links and we made them rich. They didn't give us any of the money, right? They didn't go, why don't we start Amazon over again? And this time, everybody you know, pass your link to, and everything they buy from then on will make you money. But we're going to track your link before it passes, just like YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and Google all did. They track the link. YouTube racks up views. Facebook racks up likes and followers. And Twitter racks up followers. Why don't we just rack up dollars instead?
Yeah.
And instead of the $1 trillion that's going in clicks and impressions, let's move that money out of that system, which is broken to begin with, and let's put it in the pockets of people and small businesses. Because we're all connected. We don't need them to do this anymore. Their time is ended. It's our time.
So I see that this thing can solve two great problems that we're having right now in this economy. The price of stuff is going up, right? So if there is a way that I can buy a product and save a couple bucks,
right,
that would be very beneficial in an inflationary market. But at the same time, when things are going up, our incomes are not going up. So it solves the second problem of I need to go find another way to make money to feed my kids, right? And people are already working 40-hour plus work weeks. They don't have the ability to work another part-time job because now you don't have time for your family. You have time for your employer. So by creating an opportunity to receive revenue by simply saying, share my link, sign up, whatever you buy, I get a couple bucks that come in and eventually it'll snowball, right? It could be that part-time job or that side hustle is what they call it, to bring that additional income into your household to offset the price of everything that's expensive now. So that solves two problems.
Absolutely.
So why wouldn't a person sign up for this?
Well, it's free to sign up. You get to watch how your link grows. We track it for 4 generations of passage. You know that how much you can begin to see how much money people are making before you even have to pay you $9.95 if you want.
So you mentioned the number 4 twice. And again, there's probably people on here that they should have signed up with Freedom Place because this is a private group that we're filming this in. But they may still not understand. Now, I understand it because I came from multi-level marketing, which this is not. Because multi-level marketing, they require that you buy products or sell a service. Freedom Place just says, get a free link and just share it. And if other people buy stuff from any person who's selling, they get a commission. So 4 levels. What that looks like is, if I share my link with my mom, which I did, and she goes and she shares it with her sisters, then her sisters would be 1 person removed from me. My mom would be in between me and my aunts.
It's just viral marketing, right? So you're just passing it, size Gangnam style video. Everybody remember that video, right?
Gangnam style?
Yeah. The little gallop and everything, you know. Okay, that's got like 2 billion views or something, or 3 billion views now. That came out in 2012. You passed the link, I passed the link, it was cool. Those links might still be going, racking up views. Well, so, this works the same way.
So back to the number 4. So if I share with my mom, she's what we call on my first wave. And if you have already signed up and you log into your account, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about because it says first wave, second, third, and fourth. So I sign my mom. She signs her aunt. That puts my aunt on my 3rd wave. And then my aunts sign up their kids, which are my first cousins. They're on my 4th wave. So if my cousins buy anything, my aunts buy anything, and my mom buys anything from any merchant who will sell in Freedom Place, that commission that's released, revenue will flow up to me. And also them.
And and you can have as many levels in affiliate marketing as you have money to pay out. Now, Amazon has an affiliate marketing program, and you can make a little money off of every sale that's made off the people who click your link. But they're not tracking you 3 more ways, 3 more passes, because they can't afford it. They want the money.
So what you did was you solved another problem that a lot of, and I'm not going to say Americans because there's more people in the world other than Americans, but there are people who have been taught about generational wealth. So by creating 4 levels and sharing it, as in this example, my mom is part of my generation. She's a generation above me. Her aunts are her generation. My first cousins are on my lineage, but now I also have kids. So when my kids turn 18, because I see your legal disclaimer, you got to be 18, I can share a link with them. But because our entire family is receiving revenue on everything that we now buy and sell, we found a way to create generational wealth.
Absolutely, because it's viral. It just keeps going.
So
all the buying and selling that's going on in the world, much of that money is, all of that money is either going into profit or into advertising. Products themselves, obviously, right? What if because we have the ability to put 50, 100 million and more very quickly in this. And by quickly in that world, months, not a year, months, we can do that. The amount of people that are behind this and surrounding this right now and the level of influence they have is massive. It's massive because it's reinventing the American dream. The American dream is not just a car and a house and the kids and a
family. To have generational wealth.
It's generational wealth.
Make sure the next generation is a little bit better than you.
Well, you know what? The whole world is looking at America right now going, when are you going to stand up? When are you going to take it back? When are you going to be America again? Well, you know what? That's a loaded question. But if we do this and we do it together, we have we have the ability to put 100 million people in this that fast. It's going to move quickly once we start turning things on. What happens then? You brought up Netflix. We have 100 million people. We go, look, guys, it's time for everybody to make money off of Netflix. Everybody goes, what? Okay. Everybody quit Netflix and everybody send an email to Netflix and say, you're going to move your subscription model over to Freedom Place and we're not going to be paying you anymore. And 50 million people drop out of Netflix in one day, we're going to get their attention.
And they need more consumers because they just came out with the deal where you can't share your account with your family members. So that means if you have 10 people in your family using one account, one person keeps it, 9 other people have to go sign up and pay.
And this isn't right wing or left wing. It's joining the blue and the red together. We're we're reunited we stand. That's the American dream, is taking back our freedom.
So, and when we say the American dream, we have to look at it why other people from other countries come here is because they look at it as the land of opportunity. It's not just to work and make money today. It's when you die, you don't die broke, and then your kids pay for your funeral service, right?
Correct.
The American dream was you worked hard, and the income you made and the assets you acquired that you owned, you pass it down to the next generation, right? And then they took it from there, the mantle, they built on that, and then they passed it down to the third generation. So right now in our country, a lot of times our parents have the wealth and the kids have nothing. Right? So, and when the parents are going to pass away, maybe they'll give you something if they see that you've taken it to the next level. But even the billionaires are saying, I'm giving all my money away because my kid did nothing. Right? They're like, I don't want to work.
Yeah, I can tell you some stories about billionaires' children.
So that's the consumer. Now, the businesses can also sign up, which I like your concept because even businesses have their own account with Facebook, right? Except Facebook takes your money.
That's right.
You build up your Facebook page of likes and followers, and then you want to make an ad to them, which they'll never see. Because now Facebook says, even though you collected those people, we're going to have to charge you on every post that you make. So in our situation, we have 24,000 followers on our real estate Facebook page. If I was to make a post today, probably 500 people would see it because we can track the eyeballs, right? But if I wanted maybe 5,000 people to see the ad, out of my 24,000 that I brought,
You can pay them some more money.
then I can pay them money. And they'll tell me, if you want 5,000 people to see it, you're going to give us this money. I have no choice.
But then when you pay them, they pay 4 people commissions off of that, right? Or no, they don't do that. Okay.
We get nothing in return. We don't even get sales in return anymore.
But you get some impressions and some clicks.
They don't pay the bills.
Yeah.
Impressions,
Really?
don't pay the
You'd rather have
leads.
sales?
Don't pay the. I'd rather have sales.
Oh, wow. And would you rather pay the money to the media, or would you rather pay it to your prospective buyers?
I think I would pay the money.
Yeah, well, that's all this is. This is a competition. So the businesses, you can, if people are getting this, you can understand how we can get a lot of people very quickly. Because we have a lot of people, a lot of big databases ready to go. The businesses get to do the same thing. They get to create their own income stream off of that. Now what happens? The small business person goes, wow, I'm going to get risk-free advertising. I also can pass it to other businesses, and when they pay their $19.95 a month as a business to be in, and you don't have to do that until you pass the link enough, you're making $2 off of every business, but we'll track that 4 degrees of separation. So now start doing the math if you pass it to 5 businesses or 10 or 20.
Let's do the math 10, because I've done it many times. So if I have a business and I have a business page, a business profile, and I share my business link with another business, and let's say I get 10 businesses.
Right.
And they're paying their subscription, $19.95, $20 a month. And I receive $2 of that subscription because I connected them to Freedom Place.
Right.
Then not only will I make that revenue on my first line, but if they go, each one gets 10 more businesses.
Yeah, that's 100.
So that's 100.
Yeah.
And then those go and get 10. So now we're
That's
talking about 1,000.
Yeah.
And then they get 10. And that's 10,000.
And then we're done.
Times
We only
$2.
track four ways for everything.
Times $2 a month. So what you're saying, as a small business, I could have another revenue stream of $20,000 a month, regardless of what I sell in my own business.
Yeah, because the problem is for businesses, there's a concerted effort by big business, because big business wants to stay big business.
Exactly.
And the best way for big business to stay big business is eliminate small business.
And the way they do that is the banks say we don't want to limit small businesses.
Yeah,
So now you can't keep your receivables coming in because you don't have enough product.
on bankers. We'll be turning over
So,
money changer tables.
From a business standpoint, in today's economic system, small businesses are having a hard time getting small businesses loans to keep their storefront operating, right? But if they had that additional revenue coming in, why would they need a loan?
Right. Well,
So where were you guys
I'm
when
not
COVID
afraid
happened?
of being politically incorrect, but is the virus more contagious in a small business than it is a large? Because that's crazy. Why are small businesses forced to shut down? That's not right. Well, it's because right now we're seeing a concerted effort to eliminate competition. It's always been there, though. It's always been there. Big businesses eat small businesses. That's it. We want to reinvent. You want to talk about reinventing the American dream? American dream used to be you go up downtown and every store had a little sign out front, and there was one guy running the business. If you want to start a business, you just had to put a sign out front. That was it, and you were off and running. Go try to start a small business right now. Oh my God, all the things you have to do just to try to get it open and then to stay open. Good luck. And that's before big business does what they do, right?
Yeah. So the third sign up, nonprofits. What is that about?
Well, we want nonprofits, churches, ministries, synagogues, mosques. We want everybody. We want them to have the advantage of being able to market to our community, which we know is going to be tens and tens of millions, and we believe hundreds of millions of people. And we don't want them to have to pay a bunch of money. So they get to join for free. But they don't get to participate in all the revenue streams, because if you do that, you're going to have the IRS creating all kinds of new regulations overnight. So we want them to be able to participate, and we want to reduce their cost of doing business, because every ministry, every nonprofit is also a business. And that's the sad part that they have to go through. But if they don't, they won't be a nonprofit for very long, or a church, or a ministry, or a synagogue, or a mosque, right? We want them to be able to reduce their cost of doing business and have access to a population that is making money off of the buying and selling that used to happen over in that other world of clicks and impressions. And now the churches and the ministries go, well, you mean we get to participate for free? Yeah, put your videos here. Do your audio podcast here. We want you to be able to reach these people and not have that cost of doing business that you have in the other world. Does that make sense?
It does, and here's where I think there's going to be value by adding the nonprofits, particularly the churches. So there's 2 churches right down here. There's Grace, and then there's another one called The Way.
Yeah.
Right? I drive by them.
I know them both.
And I say, I wonder what type of theology. One says on a billboard, God is here. The other one says signs and wonders and miracles.
Matt Woodfill, Steve Ricker. Know them both.
Yep. Yeah. So my thing is, I don't have time to pull in there on a specific time when they're having a service. But what I like about your platform, because I did see a sneak peek of a particular church here in Houston, ministry, that there was a video of a service streaming on their page. So if I wanted to check out different churches or places of worship in a particular area, because I'm church shopping, right? Being able to do that, like search, kind of like a Google search within your platform. And then, for example, a zip code. I put the zip code, it pulls up a bunch of churches. I like the idea that I can see, here's 5 churches, let me click on their page and let me look at their last sermon.
Right.
Because you have a video formatted inside their page. Versus, let me remember the name and then later Google this one and then Google that one and then Google that one or go to Google Maps.
Right.
I like how it's all put into one platform.
And we've got a reviews platform as well. So now, but you bring up nonprofits. That one of our 7 founders, a guy named Bishop Dr. Jeffrey Larson. You want him to be on this. He is a hoot and an incredible man, right? And what he's doing right now. Well, let me come back up. Bishop Larson is one of our 7 founders. He is the first white bishop ordained in the Church of God in Christ, right? And go back to your nonprofit question. What was the question again on nonprofits?
Well, what was the benefits and what was that all about?
Right. So now again, but every church and nonprofit, like what he's got a number of different nonprofits, and now they have goods that they want to sell too, though, right? And what we've done though is we've set this up so for churches and businesses you can shop them different. I was going to reviews. We also have reviews, and so you have a reviews platform. And what I was going to say with Jeffrey Larson, I got a little off track. Jeffrey Larson, Bishop Dr. Jeffrey Larson, he's our Chief Impact Officer, right? We have another platform that I don't even know we told you about. I think I mentioned it. It's called Fill a Need, right? It's Match.com for resources and people that have resources. The problem in giving and poor people isn't the fact that there's people in need and people with resources. It's connecting them, right? Anybody can give $1 to the guy standing on the corner that has a sign and needs $1. Anybody can do that. Until they go to a central business digital currency system, and how are they going to give money to that guy? Was it going to be sitting out there with a cardboard sign that's got a credit card swipe on it? No. So we're going to have a Match.com to match people in need with people with resources as well. Jeffrey Larson, Bishop Dr. Jeff, and anybody should look at meetthebishop.com and read about this man. He's one of our 7 founders.
So if I understand correctly, if there is a nonprofit that's signed up with Freedom Place, and let's say one of their missions is to feed the homeless in their area, they can place a need somewhere on Freedom Place saying, we are looking to raise $10,000 to feed the homeless for this certain time frame.
Right.
And all the members of Freedom Place who are very busy in their lives would love to help some way, but they don't have the time, but they have the money.
Right.
They always say, well, how can I help? How can I help? Right? And they're very cautious where they spend their money. You got to be cautious. So they can go to one of these ministries and see on the posting that $10,000, like crowdfunding, right? 10,000, we have a goal. Here's where we're at. And they can donate money through the platform to help a specific.
And because of the connectedness and the way things have to work, it's really easy for us to automatically vet that need and confirm it's real, and have that post go live. And so people that can then go in and go, man, I really want to help it. Little kid needs a bike. Little kid needs a glove. Somebody needs 20 grand. Somebody needs a new car. Ultimately, what we're doing is we're taking all that money that's at risk in an advertising model and a gift card model, which is $700 billion on its own. And we're moving over into the pockets of people and businesses both in a new way of doing business, new way of doing buying and selling, where we make the money. But now we have people creating recurring monthly revenue streams of all the revenue streams of all the buying and selling that's already occurring anyway. And now we have extra money to go do good with, right? And so how much easier is it going to be in that system? So that's the point of having the nonprofit.
It is a known fact that someone who is a giver, typically when they have excess money, they're willing to give more.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we got to take care of our families, right? So if you have a little bit of money, you're going to put it in your family. But sometimes when you have that extra money and your family is taken care of, they're more willing to give because they understand what it feels like to be in need.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Good deal.
What else?
Man, I think this was awesome. How about you guys?
Yes.
I have a question online.
We have a question online?
Yes.
Okay. What's the question online?
Somebody was saying, how do we explain this to our friends and business we deal with? It was Donna?
That's coming. Don't worry about it right now. Just sign up right now. There's a lot coming.
So we've had a lot of explainer videos, but obviously you. So here's something that you probably need to know, because I've heard this. Hey, I've signed up, but when can I start buying and selling?
Right.
The buying and selling portion hasn't come yet. So this company is gradually rolling out, and if you're watching this video, you are early adopters to this, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when you first launched the first piece, which was the sign up part, right? Because you got to make sure that the ease of sign up works, right? You got to get all the bugs and kinks out.
We're not even in beta yet.
Right?
We're just,
Then the tracking of the 4 levels is another piece of the technology.
Right.
So you can't launch the entire platform if you don't get the 2 important steps, the ease of sign up and then the tracking, right? Because if you rip somebody off and you don't give them the money, right? And they're like, hey, there's a bug in the system. You say it's a bug in the system.
Yeah.
The whole thing collapsed. So right now, it's simply getting people a free account. They share their link, start building your pipeline of other people. And as you guys roll out the platform, then we don't have to scramble to go and tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
Right?
And we're just getting to the point where we've hired all of our branding people and marketing people. And we're just getting to the point where we're clearing everything in April now for messaging. And then in August, we will begin to have meetings and seminars and webinars and podcasts and things like that. And a number of other things I can't tell you about yet. September, we will launch en masse signups, and it will be a race. And we're talking to people with millions of people in their database.
So let's talk about that, because I don't think the people watching this understand that to be able to get your link and to share it, to start building up your pipeline, this has not been offered to certain people. Like, for example, Dr. Graham of Graham Family, he probably has millions of followers, right?
He's got.
You're not going to let this guy get out there right now and to his database, because 1 million people signing up in a day, right? You have General Michael Flynn, who's going around America right now, preaching in every town and city, right?
Right.
Millions of people follow this guy. Right. So you don't want somebody like this to be on the front end of something that's new.
We've got 100 people already that have 100,000 to 30 million people ready to go.
So I'm one of those 100. So if you guys are listening, it's because you came in through me sharing the link with someone, and then they shared it. So understand this, you guys, if you're watching right now, you have such an amazing opportunity, because not everybody knows about Freedom Place, because they're keeping it under wraps. They started with a small group of 100, and these 100 people don't have millions of followers that they're immediately going to plug in. It's really coming to the average Joe.
Well, we've got people positioned right now to go to all the college students. There's 20 million college students in America right now. Oddly enough, it's a third conservative, third moderate, a third liberal. We don't care. We want them out of debt. They have the ability to sign up, pass this, and the first, it's a subscriber services platform. There's a lot of stuff to it. I won't get into all the benefits of just that first platform. But they should make no less than $1 a month off of everybody they pass it to, everybody they pass it to, everybody they pass it to, and everybody they pass it to.
And it'll go viral in college, just like Facebook. Facebook started in a dorm.
Why? We got that. You're helping us go to the vets. There's 16 million vets. All right, 20 million college students. Why is that important? Because they've been sold a dream, the old American dream. They've been sold a dream that if you borrow enough money, you're going to have a great future. That is the biggest lie of all, because
That's true.
the borrower is always slave to the lender. And it becomes a debt burden that follows them through the first 20 years of life after college many times. And they realize they bought a lie. So what happens when we go in and they start passing this and they get, what you use the example of 10, they get 11,000 people, which they can do like that at that level. I mean, they think viral, right? They're going to be doing real videos on TikTok and everything else. Going to get in and go in and sign up. And once they catch that, and once we light that fuse, what are we really doing? What is our heart? I want them out of debt. We want them out of debt. That's the American dream. The American dream is, let me borrow some money so I can buy a lie that I might have a future, and I find out that my future is now controlled by the debt I have to pay every month. You want to talk pyramid schemes. You know what a pyramid scheme is? It's working for somebody, and they're taking all the money and they're going to have all the fun. And that's what's happened with this entire system that we're all in. We can all see it beginning to unravel. It's beginning to unravel. Let's let it unravel and let's take it back. All right? Let's just take it back. This is the easiest thing in the world. It works. The whole thing, the whole ecosphere works off of signing up free and passing a link. That's it. It's so complex behind the scenes. The people involved with this have built things like American Express and Claro and GE and Aon and Franklin Templeton, and go down the list. The tech team will blow your mind. Yes, it's all blockchain. Yes, it's all Web3. Yes, there are technologies they're inventing for this. The team is beyond anybody's concept of understanding. I don't even understand it. What they're doing, the level of quality, the cybersecurity things that are being put in place. It's amazing. All for one purpose. Get those students out of debt. Get those vets out of debt. Get those debts into the system because they got a recurring monthly income stream of another $500, of another $2,000, another $20,000. Whatever they want, however aggressive they want to be in passing the link. They could go sign up 7,000 different affiliate marketing programs to get 7,000 links. We're going to do that for them. They just have to get their link and hook into those 7,000 or 700,000 or 70 million businesses. There is no limit to this. All right? Sorry, I got a little passionate there.
Sounds awesome to me. So in case there is someone who's watching, and we also record it, so this video we'll share with other people. If you do not have your link, then whoever told you about Freedom Place, you need to get with them like right now. Mm-hmm. Get that link with an understanding that you are part of a special group at the beginning, right? It's being held back by people that are mega influencers. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, we always have to test a new product, a new system, right? And that's why we're rolling it out very slow. So if you don't have a link, you need to get that link right away, especially if you're a small business, because businesses right now are the ones who are suffering the most in this economy. Yeah. And when I say suffering the most, yes, we have people that have jobs and prices are going up on stuff, so they're struggling. Mm-hmm. But a business person not only has their own personal bills, they've got the bills for their company. It's double jeopardy, right? It's double worse, if that's a word, right? So, like Trump said, bigly, is that a word? Yeah. It's double worse. Huge. So for small businesses, we cannot predict what tomorrow's going to bring, right? They can make one political change, mm-hmm. and it can alter the direction of our company. And there's nothing we can say about it. You know, so if you don't have something to back up with, right? Right.
There's two forces in the world, Corey. There's those who want control and those who want freedom. The ones who want control, that's a small group of people that got a lot of money, a lot of influence. The ones that want freedom, that's everybody else. Now, there's a big group also in the middle that doesn't even understand that they're being controlled.
No idea.
And they don't even have the concept of understanding that they need to want freedom. And they're just going to let anything that happens to them happen to them. We want to save that group as much as anybody. We're apolitical. Right? We're for America. The American dream is freedom. If you're in debt, you're not in freedom.
That is true.
We want to set people free and get out of debt. We want to set people, I can't tell how many people have already told me, if I can just get $2,000 a month coming in, I can quit what I'm doing, which I hate, and go do what I want to do. Right? Think about that. The American dream is whatever dream is in your heart. That's what's important.
The liberty to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got someone here with a question. Public, and I've heard that question asked, could this company go public?
We are owned, privately owned. We have in our bylaws and everything, we will not go public. You can't go public and be free. It's impossible. If the government becomes your business partner, which is what happens, there are companies out there. We are not a Buy American marketplace either. We're about freedom. We want all that money that goes into buying and selling to end up in your pocket and their pocket. That's what we want. Buy American? Yeah, we're for it. Absolutely.
So for people that don't understand, when you said you would be yoked with the government, the SEC is what you're talking about, right?
Well, yeah. If you go public, what you've done is, and I've been a part of taking companies public. What you're doing is you're saying, I'm just going to chop down the cherry tree now. Well, no, I'd rather have the cherry tree bring back cherries every year. That's a different deal. Let's just do that. That's that. But if you have a set of regulations that you have to follow that is dictated by Washington, D.C., and who gets control, you're back into, now you're subject to who wants control instead of who wants freedom. Does that make
Somebody
sense?
like a Warren Buffett could come in and say, I want to buy the majority of shares, whatever shares you're allowed to have.
We're going to great pains to make sure this survives. I'm looking for people that can do the things that I do should I die tomorrow. All right? That's what we're doing. And this isn't even ours. This was given to us. We're looking to do something for hurting people, right? The pain that's out there right now. I'm in a unique position to be in front of people that are in pain. And they're in economic pain, Corey. Economic pain. It creates family pain. It creates children that don't have a father in the home. It creates schools that don't know how to teach kids. It creates teachers that think they're doing the right thing by telling a boy he's not a boy and a girl that's not a girl. We want to set them free. You're not going to do it in that economic model that's there. We have to create a new economic model. We've done that. It's that simple. And then everybody goes, well, how's it going to work? Sign up for free and pass a link. Just sign up for free and pass a link. That's it.
Pretty amazing. Pretty powerful. Because you're right. If you're an employee and you need that income, you will toe the line. You will do whatever your employer tells you to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you're a government employee, you will do whatever they tell you for the fear that if you don't and you lose your income,
Right.
how can you take care of your family?
That's right.
And that's the bondage we're in,
Right.
is we can't survive unless we have money.
Yeah.
And maybe this can be a solution to help us to not.
Oh, it is. It is. 100%. 100%.
Well, I appreciate your time.